I feel like, did I watch this or not? But I literally have to fucking look and see. I've seen a million of these, but let me see. Did I watch this one? Damn, why did I not watch this one? Damn, I'm surprised I didn't. What the fuck? Holy shit. Okay, yeah. Let me go ahead and look at the rest of this, okay? Just give me 1 second here. One year watching, found you through Tim the Tap Man. Don't understand this. Day one classic, you're having a bad day. 130k people were watching. Once Tim had issues with CSGO, 80k issues. Why do views go up whenever things fail? Are people mean? People want to see meltdowns. People like seeing meltdowns and drama. And so as soon as things aren't going well, they want to see like, oh, what's going to happen, right? There's a certain amount of suspense. And then so as soon as the thing actually happens, the suspense is gone. That's why mount runs are so popular. That's why a lot of things in classic WoW are popular, is because you have suspense, you have binary suspense factor where it either happens or it doesn't. Whereas in retail WoW, the suspense and the lottery aspect of it is tiered in so many different ways, right? It's like you have normal item drop, you have the Warforge, you have the Titan Forge, the socketed, right? And so there's so much muddying of the water that you don't really have that same fucking binary thing that people can just understand. And if they see that on the screen, that's a big fucking deal. And so that's why it's very, very popular. That's why Classic WoW is popular in terms of viewership, is because it creates suspense and it creates moments of interest, right? And so right now it creates a moment of interest of what's going to happen with the servers. Are they going to come back up or not? What is happening? Then you have all the other people that are offline that are watching me, that are like waiting for me to log back on so then they can log back on. There's a lot of shit going on, right? But it does actually make sense once you know about what's going on.
Leveling in vanilla WoW was very unique when compared to how we do things in the modern game.
You could say that.
See, leveling in vanilla WoW was the game. So
Yep.
you spent a long
Sure
time
fucking
doing
was.
it. And MMOs were just played differently back then. So as I progress through this video, you will notice a lot more differences than similarities to
Yep.
how questing is done today. First off, your character was weak, very weak for the first 1 to 10 levels. Rogues, for example, didn't start off with dual wielding, the iconic ability of a class who was all about attacking quickly with
really?
2 small weapons, could only run 1 weapon for the first 10 levels. Also, that 1 weapon was a dagger, because you couldn't learn how to use other weapons until level 10.
Damn,
And
I didn't even
daggers,
know that.
Back then and even today, do
What
not
in
hit
the
very
fuck?
hard. They're meant to attack fast and quickly,
What in the
but not
fuck?
do a lot of high-end damage.
God
which
damn.
is fine if it wasn't for the fact that the main ability early rogues could use was Sinister Strike, an ability that wants the slowest, highest hitting weapon you have in your main hand. Hunters started off with no ranged attacks at level 1, and instead had Raptor Strike. Raptor Strike was a melee ability that added bonus damage to your next melee attack, and wasn't very good. Also, Hunters started off with a weak one-handed weapon too.
Because you were fucking garbage. That's the thing, is you would build this up, and you started off in the game and you were shitty. You were fucking shitty. Everything about your character sucked dick. Like, everything about it was bad. Watch Ferris, do you want me to watch your video after this? Okay, hopefully I won't have to because the servers will be up, but the odds are I probably will. Yeah, it was a complete fucking terrible thing. And so it's very true. Okay, let's go.
But at least it was better than a dagger. Early Hunters could easily be mistaken as a melee class if you didn't know any better because of just how much melee damage you had to do. The ability to auto-shoot while moving wasn't added to the game until Cataclysm, so you had to stutter step auto-shoot kite every mob if you wanted to use your ranged weapon. Until you got your pet at level 10, of course. Now, let's look at the quests themselves for a bit. Lots and lots of quests where of the go collect this item from mobs that has a small chance to drop variety. This was to force players to have to kill a ton of mobs all the time for nearly half of the quests you did.
Okay.
That way, you'd get that sweet monster kill experience, which was crucial to leveling up in an efficient manner. Most vanilla quest guides would even tell you to kill as many mobs as you could, on your way to the next quest giver and on your way to quests. Gather quests all had really long cast times. If you got a rare quest that wasn't telling you to go commit mass genocide on wolves to get 4 paws, you'd sometimes get lucky and have a nice and easy gather quest. Although, these weren't really all that easy. Most of the things you had to collect had moderately long respawn timers. So if there were other players in the area, that made them take a lot longer to do. Most items were swarming with mobs that had to be cleared out first. Most of them were very far apart from each other and forced you to have to hunt them down for a long.
This is very, very fun. I used to really enjoy this a whole lot. It's just such a great game. Whenever you just have to go to one mob to another mob, and the travel time between each of the mobs is like 30 seconds. The kill time is 30 seconds, and the drop rate is 0. It's just truly amazing and incredible.
Time. And also, they would take about 5 seconds on average to collect each one. Same with gathering herbs and mining, about 5-second cast times for each, with the chance of failing and having to do it again. Everything in Vanilla WoW had incredibly long cast times to collect, whereas today it's almost instant, if not collected in 2 seconds at the most. And for quests, that necessarily wasn't just about going out and killing or collecting stuff. You had to read them very carefully to make sure you understood what to do.
That's true. That's true. That's whenever I really fucked up. Like, you guys ever read a quest, and it's like 4 paragraphs, and you read the first, third, and fourth paragraph, and it's like, okay, I go here, and then the second paragraph says, first go here? Like, I don't know how many times it's fucking happened. Except for in Vanilla WoW, whenever that happens, you don't waste like, oh shit, I've got to go use my 14th Dalaran Hearthstone, or take one of my 8 different portal items over to, 4 of this other continents that'll take me over the area within 10 seconds. No, you just wasted 35 fucking minutes. You just wasted 35 fucking minutes just for that one goddamn motherfucking thing.
Information was kind of sparse back then, so you had to pay close attention to the quest text to understand what exactly you needed to do. Because obviously, there were no quest markers in-game. Items didn't glow if you needed them, and mobs didn't even tell you if they dropped anything you needed for your quest either. Killing mobs was hard. Your character was weak. Even after hitting level 10, mobs were powerful. On average, it might take you 20 to 30 seconds to kill one normal, non-elite, level-appropriate mob. Fighting 2 at once was nearly death, but could be handled if you popped cooldowns, or if your class had a way to handle it. Good AoE in Vanilla WoW was the exception, not the norm. So, not many classes could deal with 2 mobs at once on a regular basis, and getting 3 mobs was almost guaranteed death unless you had a way to leave combat or escape. Killing large groups of mobs took planning
very fucking
and
annoying
strategy,
too. I hated
because
it
they
so
were
much,
usually
man.
clumped up together, and you didn't want to accidentally pull more than 1 mob at a
Most
time.
annoying motherfucking
Also,
bullshit
mobs
there is.
respawning on top of you usually also meant death, and going into a cave for a quest item usually meant that the mobs at the entrance would respawn before you were finished, because of how long it took to kill everything. And it was most times easier to just die and res outside rather than deal with trying to re-clear it, as you were probably going to die anyway. Combat was a little harder too. Today, we have inherent hit chance and expertise, but in Vanilla WoW, weapon-based classes had to deal with parries, dodges, glancing blows, blocks. All mobs could block, not just mobs with shields, and misses. Half of the time you attacked a mob on a melee character, you would miss the attack in some way, shape, or form, because getting the stats needed to attack
Dodge, overpower, miss. That's like the perfect fucking trifecta for why warriors have rage as a resource. That's why warriors have rage right there. That one fucking thing.
Through those was on gear that you had no control over while leveling. But luckily, casters and hunters didn't have to deal with this as much. In Vanilla, the only thing a ranged attack could do was miss, and maybe be blocked. Plus, spells only had to worry about misses
look at
and
look
being
at BFA
partially
now.
resisted. But because you were so weak, gear felt better and more meaningful.
That's not why it felt better. The reason why it felt better is because literally back in vanilla WoW, over half of your questing, over half of your character's experience was obtained through killing mobs. In retail WoW, 20% of it is killing mobs, 80% of it is questing. Whereas in vanilla, 20% of it is questing, and 80% of it is killing mobs. So you're spending all of your fucking time killing mobs. So if you get an upgrade, it matters a lot more because you spend way more time killing mobs. And, you know, people might not remember this or think this is true, but that is absolutely the fucking case. That's how it's always been, man.
Finding a treasure chest in vanilla WoW was infinitely more valuable than finding one in the more modern versions of the game, as it was almost guaranteed to have a green item in it. Getting a green item that you could use and had stats that you needed just felt better because of how hard everything was and how rare good pieces of gear
how
were.
meaningful it was, yeah.
Being so weak also forced cooperation.
One spirit.
Quests with hard to kill bosses or lots of ads
Never
required
died.
a group. And since everyone was used to dying to more than 2 mobs at once, they were much more willing to join groups and look for them in kind.
Yeah.
Speaking of boss
You
mobs,
make friends.
vanilla WoW had this really unfair way of making boss-like mobs harder to kill.
Higher level.
You see, what they would do is just make them a higher level than everything else in the zone.
Yep.
And they did this with dungeon bosses too.
This was such a dick-sucking move. This was literally such a dick-sucking move because hunters have no problem with that. They just, you know, what do you mean? What do you mean high level? You just shoot them. It's easy. Just shoot. Just shoot. Meanwhile, if you're a warrior, you're hitting them, and because your energy is based off of how much damage you're dealing, you're not dealing any fucking damage. You're just sitting there with your big two-handed weapon. Where's my tennis racket? That's the miss. And then you're fucking dead. That's the whole goddamn thing, man. I'm so sick of this shit, man. Like, I was happy whenever they changed that in retail, honestly. I was happy whenever they just made them elites and shit and not just high level because it was so goddamn annoying. Full dead? Yeah, exactly, full dead. Pause this and we're going to go ahead and start the rest of the video, okay? All right, let's go. They're laughing at you? I bet they are, dude. I bet they fucking are.
If you were doing a quest in the starting zone and killing mobs level 7 and 8 for most of the quest, you finally get to the final one, which has you kill 1 mob.
And he's level 12.
And then when you get to it, you'll find out that it's level 12 and destroys you for being 4 levels higher than you.
See that?
A level difference makes it harder to hit and gives it crushing blows if the gap is big enough.
Yep.
Over time, Blizzard just completely removed
annoying.
this mechanic from the game. And for good reasons. Making mobs harder by just making them a higher level was kind of unfair.
Well, it was. It's completely unfair.
There was no auto loot. You had to hold shift with each pickup in order to manually activate auto loot.
That was so fun.
And you had to loot each mob one at a time.
That was so fun.
None of that AoE loot. Also, you couldn't see the sell price of an item unless you were at a vendor. So, if you completed a quest and got a reward that you didn't need, there wasn't really a way to know which item gave more gold.
No.
Outside of prior knowledge of which items sell for more, usually.
You just buy, if you don't know which one to get, you just download the add-on, and if you download the add-on, just get the weapon. If it's like a pair of boots or a weapon, just get the weapon every time. It's going to sell for more.
Or maybe an add-on.
It was like, generally, like, the bigger the item would be, or the heavier it would be in real life, the more it will vendor for. You just use that logic, and you will be right in terms of picking the right quest rewards vendor 9 times out of 10.
Travel time was what you spent half your time doing. Flight points were very sparse, and it was rare for towns to have one. It was entirely normal to have to run to every single point in a questing zone without ever flying, as flying was usually reserved for going to other zones in major cities, not the conveniences of going from one quest hub to the other.
Yep, not like WoW
Most quests were far apart from each other, and not many of them could be done side by side like today, where maybe 3 quests could be completed in the same area at the same time. So most of the time, you were traveling slowly to a questing spot to finish one maybe 2 quests at the same time before running to a new place for a different quest.
And then you have to go back to the first
classes were
place.
slow. Priests had absolutely no movement speed increases. Rogues had a sprint once every 5 minutes. And you didn't get the opportunity to get a mount until level 40, where most players couldn't even afford it on their first character for the high price. So it wasn't unusual for players just to run on foot, slowly, everywhere, to do everything. Because Vanilla WoW loved to have quests that made you go all over the place. The other vast amounts of your time were spent on downtime. Downtime was the name of the game. Killing a few mobs, or one especially.
That's what makes WoW such a great streaming game. Is I'm literally sitting around reading chat over half the time. I'm not even playing the game. I don't even play the game. That's the best part about it. It's not like, oh, I've got to worry about, all this other bullshit. I don't even play the fucking game, dude. I'm just having fun. And, yeah, this is amazing. Fuck yeah. All right, let's go. We're going to look at the rest of these. All right, I'll hopefully be able to log back on now. What's going on? Why is WoW down? Blizzard and, listen, sometimes, you know how, like, there's, like, an eclipse? You know, like, an eclipse is where, like, the planets line up? Well, there's been an eclipse of like every fucking planet in the solar system today, and it's created an intergalactic dildo to fuck me in the ass. I'm level 59. 50 fucking 9. And I can't get this shit to work. 50 fucking 9.
Tough mob would mean having to sit down and eat to get your health back, or bandage. First aid was very valuable for leveling, as most classes did not have self-heals, like they do today, and you got the materials for bandages from killing humanoid mobs. Mana classes ran out of mana constantly, and had to sit down to drink all the time as well. Out-of-combat regeneration is so high today that it's not a problem, like,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Until maybe max level Mythic Plus dungeons.
Yeah, maybe.
With all these hurdles to leveling, and all the time spent running everywhere, it did make a few things more meaningful. The world felt bigger, because you spent so much time on the ground having to slowly run everywhere. Also, reaching a new level felt more rewarding. Every 2 levels you got new abilities or ranks to train, and every single level after 10 gave a new talent point. So getting a new rank of one of your damaging moves could sometimes double its power, which gave a very drastic and fun power climb. Whereas killing a mob may have taken 30 seconds before,
now it's 15.
Now it only took 20 seconds. A new talent every
Not
level
quite
meant
as good.
slowly getting stronger and stronger, with the same periodic power climbs, as sometimes hitting a new row of talents could give you an ability to double your damage output. Because the baseline was so incredibly weak, the additions and power-ups you got along the way were much more noticeable. This also made class quests more meaningful. Most class quests in Vanilla WoW gave you either a much needed or crucial ability, like Shaman Totems and Hunter and Warlock pets, or gave a piece of gear guaranteed to be useful for your class, and were generally worth doing, as well as usually pretty difficult and annoying. Some
Especially
infamously
annoying.
so.
Especially
Like
the
the
annoying
Water
part.
Totem quest chain, or the Druid Seal form quest.
Oh, wow.
But having to work hard to get an ability or a good piece of gear did give a good feeling afterwards.
Of course it did.
So to sum things up, everything
It took
hit
you
hard.
forever to fucking get
Your
it.
character was weak. Everything took forever to complete. Everything took forever to travel to.
Everything took
Level
forever.
up rewards were on point and felt genuinely rewarding. The low lows made the highs a lot more enjoyable.
That's true.
And I think that's why vanilla questing is remembered. With heirlooms, much better resource management, higher numbers at lower levels.
Look how fast.
and the
Look how fast they kill the mobs, dude. Like this dude is like literally fucking level 20, and he's just auto attacking and killing everything that easily. It's actually insane to go from BFA leveling to classic leveling and then go back to BFA leveling. It's like literally playing. It's like being level 40, but you have full tier 3, and you're dual wielding Ashbringers. That's how powerful you feel.
of getting new gear in general. The game has just evolved so far past the point of Vanilla WoW's harder leveling that it's basically an entirely different game. Quests nowadays are a lot more sane and reasonable, more clumped up for ease of access. Mounts can be obtained at level 1, and there's more ways to gain XP outside of just grinding mobs and doing quests. I personally think the game is better with all these changes, but is it?
I don't think so. I don't think it's better, because ultimately, like, what is really better? How do you define better? In my mind, better means it's more enjoyable, and you have an experience that's good. It doesn't really matter about, like, oh, is this objectively better? Yeah, any game designer is going to tell you that, yeah, BFA is better than retail WoW, or sorry, than classic WoW, but that doesn't make it better. Just because you see something that, you know, makes sense that it's better doesn't mean that it's better. Like, whenever you're trying to engage people's emotions, sometimes you have to think beyond logic.
Really an argument of which is better when they're both so fundamentally different? Because the vanilla model is also enjoyable in its own way.
It is.
And I kind of miss talent points and new ranks with leveling. So what do you guys think? Is there even a comparison to make when they're both so fundamentally different? I'm interested in other opinions on the matter.
All right. Obviously, everything he's saying I kind of agree with, right? I mean, that's why I'm kind of watching the video, right? Can we just play the fucking game? I don't know. Let's see if we can just play the fucking game. Nope. Server's offline. So whenever this shit gets fixed, we're going to go over to Stormwind. And again, if it works for 10 minutes, we will remake the UBRS group. But if it doesn't work for that long, we're going to have to take some donations or something, right? And like that's the way it's going to go. All right, let me go ahead. We're going to try this, okay, guys? Give me a minute. You want difficult, go to BFA? Well, I mean, like, mythic rating. The thing is, like, the problem with, like, retail WoW is that, like, you shouldn't have to go out of your way to find difficulty. I mean, am I the only person that sees that? I mean, it seems ridiculous. To see if it, yeah, what the fuck, man? Like, you shouldn't have to go out of your way. It's crazy. All right, Ferris made a video. It's called Asmongold.